All right, so as you can see, I don't know if you can really tell, but we got rain coming. So this has completely changed what I was going to do today for this video, or today's video, but that's fine. That's gardening, it's just part of it. We roll with it, right? So I'm just gonna show you what I'm doing today prior to the rain getting, or hopefully prior to the rain getting here, and how I'm getting the garden slowly ready for March 1st. So sit back, relax, grab your coffee. This won't be a super long video, just kind of showing you, what I'm doing here in Spring, Texas. Okay, so I'll show you right off the bat. Forget these tomato cages. I just had to put them here to get them out of the way. What I need to come through and do to finish this bed off is put down some of this garden soil right there, spread it out, and then we're ready to go. Now, I have done something this year that I have never done before, and it's because I've just heard about it, or read about it, let me put it that way. And that's adding alfalfa pellets to your beds. So I went to Tractor Supply, got a whole bunch of these, what is this, a 40-pound bag, and I think it was only 17 bucks for 40 pounds. When I Googled alfalfa pellets and everything, they basically release a slow release nitrogen kind of a fertilizer, and you just put them down under the soil. So what I did with this bed is underneath, or actually on top right there that you're looking at, is compost. Under the compost, I sprinkled in a bunch of alfalfa pellets, put the compost on it, and now I'm about to put, like I said, a bunch of this garden soil across the top. And then that bed is ready for March 1st. Then what I'll do is I'll take out all those radishes and do the exact same thing to that side of the bed, which I do not have time to do today because the rain is coming. So that's what I'm doing, or that's what I've been doing slowly throughout the week. I also went ahead and took care of this bed for the most part. I need to put some more soil in, and then that bed will be ready. Got to clean that bed, obviously. Okay, seriously, how many of y'all have beds that look like that? Still need to take all the soil out of these 3 beds because of the grubs, which, you know what? Let me show you. These beds are full of grubs. Every time I plant beans last year, or pretty much anything in these beds, I really didn't get much out, to be totally honest. And I was like, what is going on? I know I amended. I know I've been putting fertilizer in these beds. It's the grubs, y'all. Every time I reach in, anywhere in any 3 of these, I get grubs. So these beds have to just be totally infested with the grubs, which is fine. I've had these beds for 3 years now. I think it was 3 years ago when I built these. So it's time. I'm just going to take all the soil out, throw it in the front yard where I actually need soil, and just replenish these beds. But let me show you the grubs. Now watch, because I'm showing y'all there won't be any in this specific area. All right. Look, already. Right there. Yes, can y'all see that? Already got one. And, 2. And you know what, y'all? 2's 2, no, 3. So, I am definitely going to take, so yeah, 3 already, just like that. And if I continued to do that down these 3 beds, I'm going to have a lot more, but 3 just right there. And this is the area where I always plant a lot of beans, in this side of the trellis. So knowing your garden, knowing where you have planted certain crops previous years, and adjusting to the issues that you're having is very, very important. It's just all part of gardening. If this is your first year gardening, my advice to you is make a journal. Remember where you planted what. Now, of course, if you're starting small, which I highly recommend, It won't be hard to remember where you planted this, that, or the other because your garden is small. But if you have a big backyard, and I don't have a big backyard, y'all, but if you have a lot of growing areas and you've been growing a specific crop in one area, then you need to remember what you had there the previous year, the previous years, and adjust like I'm going to do right here. Pretty much every year along this bed right here, along this wall, I have beans and cucumbers all through there. Now I think, if I'm going to be totally honest, the main reason that I have so many grubs in this area is because those are grubs of, say, squash vine borers, things of that nature. And it's time to adjust. So these beds this year are going to be loofahs. I'm going to have loofahs going up the wall, which might not be the smartest thing. We'll find out together. But I really want to see loofahs literally covering this entire wall. I think that would be amazing because loofahs put on such beautiful flowers, and I think just having a wall of loofah and loofah flowers right there, like in my mind's eye, y'all, I can see it. Now, if you've never seen a loofah plant, right here behind me, this arch last year was covered in loofah plants. Right here, I planted 6 seeds, and I'm showing you right here how much 6 seeds grew of a loofah. Covered this entire thing. I called that the lost world because it was just so overgrown with just everything. It was awesome. Bees were everywhere, pollinators were everywhere. I mean, it was amazing. So to have that against this wall, can you see it? Seriously, can you see it? I can see it right here in my mind's eye. I think it'll be amazing. So that's my plan right there. That's still what I have finished, what I need to finish doing. And then, to be honest, I just need to fix that bed right there, fix that, amend all that, and then fix this little bit of a corner right here. And then, y'all, to be totally honest, let me see. I'm going to throw more soil in right there where JoJo is sitting. All these brassicas are going to come out probably in the next week or so. Then I'm going to do compost, alfalfa, and soil right through there. So that'll all be ready. Got to just amend that corner where sunflowers will go. I've already taken care of both of those. I did move the pineapple plants. Don't know if you all remembered, but the pineapple plants used to be right there in that corner. I think they were getting too much sun right there. So I think having them there, the way my sun goes, they're going to get great morning sun, most of the afternoon sun till about probably 2 or 3. And then they won't be getting just destroyed by that harsh evening sun that we get here in, say, June and July, or July, August, September, all that. So that's really what I don't have a lot left to do, y'all, and just sit back and wait for March 1st. And here's an option that I'm going to throw out to everyone. Make sure, if you're down here, if you're in the Houston area, if you're in zone 9B, watch your weather apps. Right now, what is today? February 15th. My weather apps are showing for 10 days, nothing below 50 in the nights. Nothing below 50, I think, in the nights. And the highs all the way up into the 80s. So, if this continues, I might roll the dice and bring some of my starts from inside, outside, and start and get them going a little early. I did this 2 years ago when the weather was basically the same as it is now, and I had a great 2024 in the garden. So, food for thought. Think about it. You roll your dice if you feel comfortable rolling those dice. That's kind of what I'm thinking. Still got all those radishes that I need to pull up, harvest, and all that. I just wanted to jump on here real quick, kind of show y'all what I'm doing right now. while we're waiting for March 1st, which was my first expected frost date. And check it out. I have my first strawberry of the year right there. I mean, it's a small one, but still, that's pretty cool. It's in the green stalk. A few more days left on the sale of the yellow, the lemon green stalk, and the strawberry pink green stalk that I'm putting up on the screen right here. If you go to greenstockgarden.com and you spend more than $75 at checkout, type in backyard 10, save yourself an additional $10 off your total order. So it's a win-win. Now the sale is on three-tier vertical planters, but it's a buy one get one free sale. So buy one, get a second, and now you've got a 6-tier. You know what I mean? Save that money and get yourself an amazing quality vertical planter from Greenstock. Again, I was going to do a totally different video, but by the time I start doing that video, the rain is just right around the corner. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. I hope you all had a blessed Sunday today. I hope you're out there getting stuff prepared if you can. I hope your gardens are going well if you can. I hope your starts are going well. I hope you're planting correctly. You've already ordered your seeds and you're just sitting there waiting until you can get your stuff in the ground. My advice, if you can get your beds going, get material on your beds and let nature start pushing the nutrients down into the soil. It just gets you that much further along. Oh, I haven't shown you all this yet. I took out that wisteria plant. Did that last week. I still need to dig up the root or it's just going to grow back. But if y'all don't know, wisteria are one of 3 plants you should never plant in a small garden. And of course, I planted the doggone thing around one of those boxes that go in the corner. I built a little cover over this one, but there's a utility box under there. The roots are not good for those things. So you live and learn, right? So, but yeah, finally took that out. So this entire corner from here all the way to there are going to be all sunflowers when I plant them, along with the Texas sage and my one rose bush over there that I'm not going to get rid of. But yeah, all sunflowers in this corner and back over there in that corner. That's the plan anyway. So I'm going to let y'all go. Y'all have a blessed Sunday. Spend it with your friends and families. Y'all take care. May God continue to bless each and every one of you and your gardens. And I'll talk to you again real soon.